My name's Caleb Hafen. I play James Potter and Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway.
Um, Now you were originally on the tour, um, before on Broadway. So how is there like any big difference that you noticed switching?
Hmm. Biggest difference for sure is just the family. Both companies are filled with the sweetest people, and both companies really are kind of like families forever. We've had incredible reunions with touring cast members, and you know, getting to work with the folks in the New York company now, I'm sure will just lives for all of forever. The world only keeps getting smaller. I feel like, um, but it's the same story and it's the same characters that we love. Um, and for me, that's what I care most about. So I'm honored to be a part of to have been a part of two companies that try to honor that story as much as they can.
Um, uh, do you know your Hogwarts? Like, have you taken like the Hogwarts house quiz and like your wand and everything?
Absolutely. I'm no so I know my house, the and I know my Patronus. The wand I would have to double check on. Um, but I am a proud member of the House of Hufflepuff. Go Badgers. Cedric Diggory, is proud of that one surely. And my Patronus is an otter.
Nice. That's a I don't think I've ever had anyone say otter before, so that's
Good, good. I can't remember who. I think the website also like tells you who you share
yeah.
that Patronus. I can't remember who it was, but I enjoyed the the fellow otter Patronus people.
Well, you're in the house of the badger and you have the Patronus of an otter.
Yeah, I know. They're both cute animals, I think. So,
Yeah. Um, what made you like interested in becoming an actor?
hmm. Um, I think there's a inherent playfulness that I first really loved. Like my parents and like credit to them. They put me in like a theater camp. I think when I was fairly young, and it was very playful. The material we were working with was very like it was for whatever grade I was at. I was probably in like, um, and it was fun. And theater games are like just all about like connecting with other people, and I really enjoyed that. I never thought I would pursue it really. My first like show um, was like high school was in high school. It was Romeo and Juliet, and then Evita was my first musical, and I only really became a part of it because I was a new kid in a new school in New Jersey, um, just like looking for a community and like to meet people because I didn't yeah I was just new. I thought basketball was gonna be cool, but I was cut from the basketball team,
Oh,
and my high school theater director was also my English teacher, and he just like encouraged me to audition, and um, that was kind of where I fell in love with it again. I kind of like did theater a little bit in elementary school and middle school, like the theater camp thing I mentioned, and um, but getting to like take theater classes and like really start understanding a bit more of like what storytelling is and like why people do it and why it has been something that's been done since the beginning of time. That was just a cool cool aspect of it. So I knew I wanted theater, I think, to be a part of my life in some capacity. I didn't know that was going to be in a like professional capacity, but in college, um, I started out as a biophysics major, but had some friends that were part of the musical theater program that I just met pretty serendipitously, and they encouraged me to like audition for the productions happening at my university. So I I'm part of those, and again, like just met a great community of people, um, and then I just like learned a bit more about what a professional career would look like pursuing acting, and that might be a viable option for me. I had some mentors that were very encouraging and taught me a lot. I told myself I would give it just 2 years in New York. I would try it and see what happens. And um, there's a lot of luck for sure involved in like actually being enabled to perform. There's a lot of people I have to thank and to credit. Oh, perhaps to more extent in this industry than in others, your employment is like entirely out of your control, and it's entirely subjective to like who you are and what you look like, and in the case of Harry Potter, how tall you are, and yeah, that's not necessarily um, a what's the word? Um, that's not a requirement in other in other fields. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of luck, and I was lucky, but yeah, we're here for the moment, and I'm continuing to perform for the moment, and yeah, it's an honor.
Well, it's very fun whenever I get to see your James Sirius Potter. So like yeah. So saying it
Oh,
five
thanks.
times?
Ella.
5 times? Oh. I
Yeah,
think I've seen
yeah.
it 5 times.
Well,
So,
I mean, I
but
yeah, I should ask you what you felt like the differences from seeing us on tour and then getting to see some of us in the New York company.
yeah.
If you felt any of those differences.
I mean, I will say when I already kind of knew about this because I was like, there's no way they could do this. It's the with the water tank. Um, like
Yeah.
I knew for the tour you guys wouldn't have been able to have that really. Because not every stage can do it, but it was still like, no, they couldn't do it. But no, I think um I did, you know, I don't have any words to describe the difference, but there's definitely a difference. And
Mm.
I will just say that you can't tell anyone this, even though this is going on the internet. We're gonna ignore that. Is that you are one of my favorite James Sirius Potter.
Oh,
And
that's
I so
kind of you.
yeah. Um, but no, I think it's just a new generation of Harry Potter Cursed cast members, and I've been a fan since it came out, which is crazy
Mm.
because I was tiny in age. But yeah, but I always like seeing the difference between casts. That's all.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, but going back
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
your experience in like the theater camps and stuff, did you ever dabble in like backstage work or did you just do acting?
It was a requirement in my university's program, because I did switch into the musical theater program at my university, and there was a requirement to do at least a semester of some kind of backstage work, um, which I appreciated. I never did it before that, and I think I was never really in um, show would have been a part of a crew that would like help me understand what crews in like professional theater environments do. Like the just the like high school had we had a stage manager who was one of our peers, and we had like a prop master who was in charge of props and stuff. Um, and bless their souls, they did like such a great job, and it was just a little bit different, I think, of what like stage is on Broadway and is on tour, and what like they have all these terms that I'm still learning about, frankly, about like the different distinctions about like electricians and carpenters and like somebody who's head of props, and just like there are so many departments, and it's broken organized in a professional way, um, that I don't know like how people really learn it in the way that it is so legitimized in professional theater beyond just like doing it or like becoming a shadow or um I mean frankly for like some of my peers that have like pursued it, because I know people did it in like at the university level, they were into stage management, but I don't know any of them that have continued on, into like the Broadway circuit as a stage manager or in the crew. Because it is so what they do. And I just hadn't seen anything like it until I was on tour or on Broadway. I mean, being in the cast backstage, I'm closer to it now than I ever was. But um, I don't think if I did it in high school, I don't think I still would have understood like how important and how organized the backstage work is, the backstage world is.
Now, everyone knows sweets help you make friends. So, do you have any favorite like Wizarding World candy or chocolate sweet, I guess?
The the jelly beans that like have the mystery flavors, those ones are always like a great party treat. So I would say those for the experience. Um, and I did have a chocolate wand that they offer at the Lyric Theater that was quite delicious. Um, so I did enjoy that. Though butterbeer is really really good. Um, I think I'm gonna if I had to lock in a choice, I'm gonna lock in butterbeer. Yeah.
Smart choice. Yeah. Um,
What
uh,
about you? Do you have a favorite one, Elliot?
um, probably I'm this might sound cliche or whatever, but fizzing Whizbees.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I got them for Christmas 2 years ago, and I loved them ever since. Um, but a close second is Butterbeer. I think Butterbeer was my top before fizzing Whizbees.
Yeah,
So was yeah. You can't beat a good cold Butterbeer though.
yeah, I know.
Mm,
It's true.
yeah. Um, any like um words that you like or like mottos or something that you like live by to help you, I guess, get through the day or I guess 8 shows a week, is it?
Yeah, yeah. I think the what I've always loved about theater, which I mentioned a bit earlier, is the connections um that I think are kind of prioritized in the theater space. So people generally are so personable and want to get to know you. And so even though we're doing all of the same things and we're saying all of the same lines on stage, backstage we're continuing to evolve and continuing to get to know each other and learn about each other, and that's what I think is the most exciting part about going to work now, that the show is so routine and in our body, and um, now I think our like more of our energy is just kind of invested in each other, and um, that's what I think keeps us going. Our ability to like uplift each other and inspire each other, encourage each other, and just continue to bless each other in whatever ways we can.
Yeah, from the I think 1 week, I guess it was like 6 weeks, but of like the Broadway like .com videos that Aiden was able
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
seemed like you guys have a lot of fun. So that's
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely just a testament to the people that are there. Aiden did a really good job with those that 6 week episodic series. It was really fun to see him running around with the camera and like capturing all of the magical moments.
um now were you always a Harry Potter fan before you auditioned or?
Yeah, I remember I like I have really specific memories tied to Harry Potter. Um, it was like the first book series I was ever in a race um, with peers like in elementary school. Um, just like always like checking up on each other in class, like how far are you now? What page are you at now? Um, my family took us to Universal when I was young. I tried doing like a repeat picture. Um, I can't remember how old I was exactly, but I was maybe 12, and I got like a picture of me with a cup of butterbeer, and I tried to like match that same outfit and take another picture um, after I found out I got cast. Um, we went to like the book 7 book release as the Weasleys. My family, we all like dyed our hair and um, went to the book release. I have like a vivid memory for some reason of the when the Order of the Phoenix was coming out as a movie. In the trailer, um, Hagrid says something about like there's a storm coming and you best be ready when she does, or like something like that. And that like is in my mind, ingrained in my mind forever.
Did you ever get to see Cursed Child before they cut it into one part?
No, actually, I've never seen the two-part version. I saw the first time they cut it down to 3.5 hours.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I never got to see the two
Shame
part.
on you.
I know, right? I got a couple months left in to hop over the pond to see it in London. But
Yeah, last place before it goes to the one part.
I know, I know.
Sad, so sad. Um, well, do you have like a favorite scene to do, or just a favorite scene in general, without giving away spoilers, of course?
Yeah. Um, it's a good question. And I'm trying to think about the no spoiler aspect of this. Uh, I also cover Albus, and I love the scenes with his dad. Um, just because the two of them really go on quite a remarkable journey that is very heartfelt and exciting and has all of the highs and lows. Um, and so I just I love all of those scenes. And in my normal track, it would be uh, when I play Cedric. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I love playing Cedric.
Nice. Any do you have anything to say to like younger act like inspiring actors who like any inspiring words to give anyone getting into acting or
Yeah, I mean, I really think that um, every every journey is so different, and I quite enjoy hearing other actors' stories into just like their origin stories because it is so different, and you can try to like pick little pieces of inspiration from every actor's story and apply it to your own journey, but your journey is really going to be your own, and I think that there are valuable lessons to be learned in the pursuit of it, no matter what. I think you can always um, invest in other interests. I've continued to stay invested in my interests in medicine, so it's not necessarily something that you have to throw everything else away to in order to pursue. Um, and yeah, I think people are very three dimensional and actors are very three dimensional, and um, you can allow yourself to continue to love all of the things that make you three dimensional outside of theater. So like any experiences that you gain help you in your acting, and any experiences you have while acting help you in everything else. I think so. I think it's always worth it. I think there's so much luck involved with every story um, that I think it's always perhaps just healthy to like keep that in mind that whatever however you define success, you define it in ways that you can control. Like make sure your goals are achievable by you. Um, and I don't know, like an example of that might be to like instead of maybe setting a goal of getting cast because that depends on a casting director offering you the job, perhaps setting your goal to audition and be prepared and show up. Like those are good goals because then you can achieve that all on your own and you know that you've achieved it and you can feel that, and letting that kind of define success for you I think is a that's been a mindset that has helped me.
noise. Um, do you have any favorite on-stage mishaps?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Um, so there was a time on tour where Timmy Thompson and I are we both come on to Timmy Thompson plays Craig on the national tour, and I want to say this was in Chicago. We we helped set the stage for um, St. Jerome's Church, and we move these big doors, and it's a pretty big transition. A lot of other actors are on stage, bringing in pews, setting other doors, um, and yeah, I want to say there's probably like 13 people maybe involved in that transition, um, and the revolve was just slightly off, just a little automation issue. Nothing major, but the show needed to hold for them to correct it. And that was communicated to everybody except me and Timmy. So me and Timmy were at places, and everybody else had been told to not go on. But the music started for the transition, so Timmy and I, swooshed onto stage and started pushing our doors, and we continued with the rest of the sequence. But as soon as we like set our doors and started our first cloak swishes, we saw nobody else was on stage. Like there should be so many other people here, but Timmy and I just make eye contact and we're like, what is happening? And we just like continue on with the music. And so what should have been like a 13-person scene transition just became a cute little duet with Timmy and I swooshing our cloaks over an empty stage and then we ran off. It was very fun.
Did they I'm guessing they didn't like put down the curtain or anything for that when they paused the show.
I think they did afterwards. They usually because then what ended up happening is they dropped the curtain. They called they called hold and then they dropped the curtain and then they set the stage for Sage Jerome. So then when the curtain lifted, we were just going right into that scene instead of having to do the whole like transition again. So yeah, I think pretty much every time they call hold, they drop the curtain, figure out what's amiss, fix it, and then resume the show. Um, how they communicate that's something that stage managers do, and they do it so like they call every cue. They are in charge of safety, so if something's wrong, they're the ones that are supposed to like call the hold and address the issue, and that's a lot of pressure to be on one person. So they do a remarkable job at it.
Um, do you have any favorite fan interactions at Stage Door?
Um, you know, besides every interaction I've had with you, Elliot, it's hard to really come up with some. We really do enjoy having you. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, I personally love it when I see a Cedric Diggory. I've seen a couple like little Diggory Triwiz uniforms. Always love a Hufflepuff scarf. I try to shout those out when I see it. Um, but yeah, those are my favorite. Anything to do with Diggory.
Nice. I don't know if you are allowed to talk about this at all, but if you are, what was the Cursed Child like audition process like? And did you have to do any like a smaller audition, or did you have to like audition again for to go on Broadway or?
Um, yeah. So the audition process was one of the most positive experiences I've ever been a part of. Um, the first the first audition was a self tape, and I auditioned with Scorpius's sides in the train scene. You mentioned sweets help you make friends. It's that scene where Albus and Scorpius first meet. Um, I just did it here in my apartment. My partner helped me, and my neighbor from upstairs helped me. Um, so we filmed it and sent it in. I was invited to a initial like movement callback, which was so much fun. Like the movement in the show is so fun, and I think a large piece of that is the people that helped create that movement are just really fun people and really nice. The callback was basically like a brain puzzle. Like the movement that they gave us, it was like designed to make us fail, and I think they were just kind of seeing how we react when we're failing. um, and I mean, I would have cast everybody in the room because I felt like everybody was reacting so positively, and that was just like the spirit that they cultivated in the room. It was so fun. Um, did a little bit of like wand dance movement, um, and after that first movement callback, there was another round of acting callbacks, um, and then there was another second round of movement callbacks where we worked with Stephen Hoggett, who was the original um, movement director, and then we had a like flying assessment thing where yeah, just got to wanted to just see how you are with heights because there are a lot of levels, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's good.
Um, kind of similar question of where were you when you like got the call that you booked the part?
I was waiting tables at Hillstone Restaurant, um, Park Avenue, and I want to say 27th Street, I think, on Manhattan. Um, and my phone started buzzing, um, and it was my agent. So I stepped out and I answered, and it was a FaceTime call, and they told me, and I'm in the middle of like my shift, trying to like, you know, clear my tables and take care of our guests. But I came back from that call, like wiping tears from my eyes, trying to like give food to people. Like clearly something was wrong or something was, in this case, really right.
Hmm.
And so um yeah, I was not supposed to tell anybody, but I might have accidentally told people who were eating their dinners because I was just like crying. Like I didn't know how to navigate that situation. But um yeah, that's where I was.
That's a very fun day.
Yeah.
Going going back to you touring. Um, when you initially, got told that you're gonna play James Sirius Potter, was there any or is there any character that you were other than the ones you cover? Is there any other role that you would like to like dive into or play, I guess?
um so in the show, other roles that I would love to dive into, um I think Ginny has some of my favorite lines in the show. She like drops what I think is the greatest wisdom about loving people specifically. Um, and I just love that she gets to do that. I think that's so cool. Ginny is quite a sweet anchor in that moment. Um, I also think Craig Bowker has such a great moment when maybe cut that out.
No one has to know.
That
I'll
just
just
slipped.
bleep it.
Craig Bowker has great moments in this. The really so many characters have so many great moments. It's like they really do. Um, Scorpius gets to live in really extreme circumstances, which I think is always fun to play in. Like I love playing in circumstances that are just far from my like in whatever direction. So like automatically Hogwarts is such a fun place to play in because that is so far from what we muggles get to experience day in and day out. Um, but especially true of Scorpius, especially true of like Snape. I think Snape's a great character. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to choose from if you get your pick of the lot. There's yeah, it's good stuff.
Kind of getting out of the rabbit hole of Cursed Child. Um, is there any, I guess, Wizarding World magical like creature that if you know of any that you would want either like as a pet or just to see, I guess, in the wild?
Well, the I mean, for me, I think the the hippogriff when Harry rides the hippogriff for the first time, in that is just like you know an incredible moment, and um, probably one of the first instances where I was like really buying into this idea of like flight as a kid when I like watched Harry fly on that hippogriff over the water. It's
Hmm.
quite magical, and so I would selfishly want that experience for myself. So I would love a hippogriff.
Um, Now you mentioned you were a biology major? Oh,
Yeah. I was starting. Yeah, I was declared biophysics major. And yeah, I was just leaning kind of towards medicine.
yeah. Anything that got you into medicine? Oh,
Um, yeah, I mean, I took an anatomy class in college, which I think every single human should take because as magical as the wizarding world is, like humans are, you know, just as, if not more so. It's so cool what our bodies can do, and um, learning about that I think was just fascinating. Um, I think I had a bit of like pull towards medicine. Um, Growing up, I have a sister that had cerebral palsy growing up, and so um, our family in general is just kind of adjacent to the medical field. And my mom is so brilliant and knows so much about medicine and body, and so I was, um, yeah, kind of I was close to it. So I have always enjoyed learning more about it, and I think whether or not I end up pursuing medicine in a professional capacity in the future, just like acting, I think I hope to keep it a part of my life in some way, whether I just continue listening to podcasts that fascinate me about, science and medicine, or yeah, I think it's cool. Medicine's cool.
medicine is cool. I like how I say that like
What
I have an experience. I don't.
what are your interests, Elliot? Where do you see yourself? What do
Um,
you see yourself
I
chasing and
Yeah, I
pursuing?
see myself in working behind the stage at West End theaters. I'm hoping
Cool.
to go to college in London or just in like the UK, get away
Yeah,
from America. Um,
cool.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
I
mean,
did.
London. I've heard only the best of things. I mean, that's a great vision that you have for yourself. Um, yeah, I think getting to dip your toes in all of the departments is super admirable. So yeah, go chase that. You got it. You got it.
Uh, it's it's something that I think my favorite backstage though job is Spotlight, Spot Up.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
um,
We had we I was actually quite close with um a spot up on tour who there's a moment where I'm close to one of the spot up lights kind of up in the rafters, and they would like turn it towards me and like do a little like nod, or like we had a little bit. I tried to like give them a new like, I don't know. It was fun. The I guess true of every it really is the people that make the departments quite um just like magical in their own way. And um yeah, that's awesome. Happy to hear that. Also, Elliot, I think it's so cool that you like reached out and are just like trying to build and you know I think it's really cool what you're doing.
thank you, thank you. I hope it's cool.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
really do.
No, it's really cool. I tried like connecting myself. I think sometime in college I like was calling somebody who was at a production company and just like ask about what they're as a producer, and I was like so frazzled. I didn't prepare I was like so, and then like I was driving, so then like our call like was dropping or like network connection. Like I was not planned and prepared in the slightest, and you just like totally are. So you're ahead of the curve. It was great.
Um, Now, looking at the time, I don't really have any more questions for you. If you would like
Mhm.
to ask me any questions, I don't mind, but that's that's
Yeah,
all the questions I have.
yeah. Um, of of um of the productions you've seen, um, I guess I would love to know your experience watching the show. You know, on your 10th, 11th, and 12th time. What 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 do you what do you watch, or like what do you see like when you know more or less what these scenes are and who's saying what when? Does your eye still go to those, or like do you start seeing just like other things in the background? Like do you start tracking maybe other characters, or I'm just curious how your engagement changes with the
Um,
show as you've seen it.
yeah, I've definitely it's really funny because as I've learned the script, because my co-host and I actually script read the script almost to the point where we memorize the entire thing. Um,
Yeah.
it is my father who mainly goes to the shows with me has reported back to me that like he hears me saying the lines along with who's ever on stage.
Nice.
Obviously, I'm not perfect at it because I haven't memorized the new script. I only have the original. But
Hmm.
I'm usually tracking either somebody new who I usually don't look at that much,
Hmm.
or I'm seeing for mishaps. I'm trying to see who messed up, who didn't mess up, just for funsies. Um, I
Yeah, I
usually,
mean it's live theater. It's that's
yeah. Uh, I usually, if, because now this is my almost third year knowing, um, like having the cast kind of know who I am, and I know names.
cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I admittedly when I for example when I saw you on Broadway, I did whisper shout to my dad, "That's Caleb." And then all the other people,
I got to dad.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
your dad is so nice. Will you, my invitation to you is to give your dad a big hug after this, next time you see him, and tell him I say hello.
yes, I will. I was yeah, I basically told him at stage door, I was like, oh, they're not gonna see me. And then my dad was like, I got you. Um, so I hope that wasn't too weird that you just heard an unknown voice call your name.
No, it was great. I mean, also we were looking out for you. Like we knew you were gonna be there, and so I doing, we were doing the stage door thing, but I was keeping you in my mind the whole time. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna tell anyone. So, admittedly, I was kind of surprised when Aiden came up to me. I was like, "Oh yeah, Caleb told
Yeah.
me you were coming." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah. Aiden
cool."
was quite jazzed about that too. I mean, it's always more fun for us, I think, when there's somebody that we have some kind of a connection to.
One last question before
Yeah.
this ends. Uh, could you, I guess, describe what the play is about without giving spoilers?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is about, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. What do I want to say here? Um, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is about the next generation of witches and wizards and their relationships to their parents. It is about family. It's about love. It's about friendship. It's about sacrifice from pretty much every angle. Every character, I think, is genuinely seeking love. Um, you know, the goods and the bads from their perspective, they're just seeking love, and I think that's probably true of all of humanity. You know, um, villains and heroes alike, I think, seek love, just have different ways of going about it, perhaps. Um, and that's what the Cursed Child's about.
That's a good explanation, I would say. Um, well, unless you have anything else, I don't have anything else, and I don't want to take too much of your time here. So,
Great, yeah, Elliot, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I
well,
wish you all the best. I hope you I hope I get to see you on the West End sometime, and whether you're on stage, backstage, you know, directing, wherever you're at, I look forward to you again.
well, thank you again for agreeing to do this.
Of
It was
course,
very fun. Um,
likewise. Yeah,
hopefully see you again on stage.
cool. Yeah, you have the best rest of your Friday.
Yeah, you too.